Hello, my name is Sheldon and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Hedjaz. In previous episode we managed to capture a little bit of land over here in Ethiopia, so now we actually have access to some wood. We don't have a lot of logging camps in here yet, although I suppose if and when we conquer Begemder, how much would it be in for me for the... 22.5, okay. Now, admittedly, we do have at least a little bit extra troops, so we could potentially now hire a general in Ethiopia as well. Let's see. Well, we've got 3 landowners, so I guess it's got to be a landowner then. Defensive strategies, actually, that's good. Meticulous, so that means a bit more offensive at defense, recovery rate, surprise maneuver chance, careful maneuver. Okay. Yeah, we're going to take that one. So we'll have at least a little bit more troops here. That does cause us a bit of bureaucracy, though, which causes some unrealized taxes. About £700 worth. So it's well, it's not massive, but it does cause a little bit of problems there. And they want to build another logging camp here for that to automatically expand. Now I know that we don't have the infrastructure in here to do everything, but at least we can get some of the expanding. So is that? I suppose he hasn't put in that into the queue yet. Also, I suppose we might need another port over here, so we'll build that one. We do have... Oh, actually, we don't need to build another port yet. We just need to start using the clippers in there. So we're going to improve the infrastructure, because it was already having tiny bit of problems there, but we can now fix that just with a little bit of ships. So that'll be fine. So now we've got low market access in Gondar and Somaliland. Now, Somaliland is going to be a little bit trickier, although in 2 years, we'll have that incorporated. Sheriff intervenes in political process. Sure. We'll get an extra 20% chance of passing that law, so we can get some elections going, and hopefully we can start getting some other groups into power other than landowners, so we can pass some of the laws that we kind of need. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, first things first, we're still building a lot of things, letting the economy recover. Interest rate is still 11.2 thousand pounds per week, so we've still got a bit of time before we're done with all of that. Right, so if I wanted to do the war against Begemder, the infamy is still a little bit high. It's not going to be too bad, though, going slightly over. But if we were to do the war, let's have a look. There might not be anyone joining. You know what, we're going to do the war now, so we can get some wood from there. Do we have both of the armies in here? We do. Okay, well, you are open terrain commander and all that, so you should be pretty good as the attacking leader. Second one will just keep in reserve here and put it on defending against Ethiopia, for example, if they join. Although I don't know if 11 battalions is going to be enough against the 45 battalion, 48 battalions that they have. So we're still making money. Oh, declared rivalry. Well, I'm not surprised by that. So conquer Begemder. Do they have anything in construction right now? A dye plantation, but that's not too bad. There's going to be a lot of farms in here, though. But I suppose... Well, no, I think the infrastructure is going to be a bit of a problem once we get that. They are even overusing it already themselves, and they've got it stated. So, yeah, that could be an issue. But their defense is quite rubbish, admittedly, so I'm pretty sure that we're... Oh, realism unlocked. Good. What are we... Oh, logistics is something that we're researching. Chemical bleaching would actually be pretty good at one as well, so that's probably something we'll do after this... tech is done. There we go. Let's go for chemical bleaching. So what are we getting in society now? Egalitarianism. Radical party, proportional taxation, that'd be nice. Are we still in serfdom, by the way? Or traditionalism? Yes, we are. Not in serfdom, though, but traditionalism. So if we were to yeah, we need to get rid of traditionalism. And to get rid of that one, we just need to get someone like industrialists or intelligentsia in power. At least in the government, let's just say. Right, no one joined the war. So this should be fairly quick overall. It's not that massive area to conquer, although there's a lot of population that we will be conquering here. And we got land of voting. So now we need to get rid of one of the taxes, I suppose. I guess the tea tax can go. A little bit less money, but at least... oh, newly founded parties. Right, let's have a look at the election then. Well, we don't know... Oh, there we go. So, Conservative Party... with the landowners and Sunni ulema are probably going to be the leading one. The Patriotic Party, we might be able to get in there. We got 70% of the votes, but the clout is only 8%. What else are we... Do we have... I don't think we initially need to worry about the agriculture in there. So I'm gonna start bolstering someone. Let's have a look. So Intelligentsia is in the Liberal Party. The momentum is a bit low. Free Trade Party would be quite handy as well. And actually the Industrialist... No, Intelligentsia actually has a bit more clout there already. On the other hand, what I could do... So I could do a decree over here to start... Violence suppression might not be the best. Enlistment efforts... road maintenance. Increase the market access there. Make sure that we've got enough access at least. So that's going to start reducing the turmoil, of course. Although I suppose, technically speaking, it probably would have been better at Somaliland because it is still suffering a lot from... I mean, it's 1.5 years away from being incorporated. We got our first combat in here. We started with a bit more troops in the combat from the get-go. We're not necessarily rolling all that well, but we're still winning the combat, of course. But that should be... Well, it's a decent chunk. I think 3 more combats and we should be done with this war already. Just gonna go ahead and put in the Conquer Brigade in there. How quickly are they losing? Oh yeah, it's 5 per week already. And we got a second combat over here. We started with 1 battalion more than they did. And yeah, with the extra offense that we have, we're gonna be winning this soon. And then we're gonna have the election... Well, it's gonna be taking place probably right after the war. Or maybe right at the tail end of the war, anyway. Yeah, they're not willing to take the peace deal yet. Oh, right, I'm going to activate this one. Start advancing it down that way. And clear out the pocket over there as well, while we focus down on that one. Or the main area there, and that should give us a little bit... Oh, rather, it should lower their war support a lot more. Now we've almost won the combat there. Is that going to be... No, that's not going to be clearing out everything. I'm going to clear out that one, or the northern pocket there quickly, and then we'll have 2 armies advancing in here. So what is the combat? It's... Oh, wow. We've got almost all the troops in there. Right, this might be a victory. There we go. We are about to get the chemical bleaching. For whom the bell tolls. I don't want to give the Conservative Party necessarily any more power right now. So what we're going to do over here is... We got the sulfur mine. Of course, we haven't activated the sulfite pulping yet. So if we do that one, that sulfur price is going to go up a little bit. We'll get a lot more paper produced as well. So that price will start going down. And now we've got... Oh, did we lose a general? We did lose a general. Okay. Well, let's recruit a new one. What does the direct do? Oh, that 10% more offensive. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. And then mobilize. Advance through there. There we go, we caught them, and now they are willing to take the peace deal. There we go, and we're making pretty good money, so we've got another 3 million pops. We've got almost 2 million radicals, though, so that is something to kind of be worried about, I suppose. And we've got plenty of... Yeah, so overall we're doing pretty fine in here. Did we... Right, we don't have silk in the market yet, do we? And that's working fine. The government administrations are now going to be using a bit more paper. Urban centers are... Yeah, that's fine. They will be hiring quite a bit more people. But now we're still making okay money. Not necessarily enough money for everything that we need, but it's a good start at least. We're about to get the chemical bleaching, so we'll be able to do that in... Ooh. Right, Conservative Party 1. Let's have a look at the government. So we could have... Ooh, 90% with the military in there. Who did we start bolstering anyone? No, we could put the road painters in, which is probably... for the best. So is there any laws that we could try changing now? Peasant levies, we could... Ooh, national militia. Is that going to be any better? I mean, it is slightly better than the peasant levy, at least. Although professional army has a lot of support now. Even the landowners are in support of that. Oh, yes. We're going to get that one, then. And that means that... Oh, chemical bleaching down. Good. So that means... Let's see. Military... Let's get the general staff real quick. And then we're going to maybe get the... Oh, right. Another one that we... should probably get is a chemical plant. So we can start getting some explosives. We'll queue up that in Hedjaz. We've got a textile mill underway there as well, but that's built by the private industries. There we go, that is another great victory. Oh, and the... Right, we got the chemical plant. Let's have a look. Class works, we can go for the bone china, so that does reduce the... Actually, no, it doesn't reduce the glass production, but it does increase the porcelain production. And we're using the crystal glass there already. I don't suppose we have... well, the other one was for the paper mills, wasn't it? So, paper bleaching, if we use a bit more dyes in there, that's going to increase the paper production even further. So overall, our GDP is now 14.4 million. How much is Egypt? They are 11.4, so they are number 18, we are number 16 worldwide. So we are actually... I don't suppose it's... no, it's still Egyptian market. So we're not quite ready for that, I suppose. Well, the big question is now, where are we going to get our coal? Wait, is Zanzibar... Zanzibar is independent. Oh, alright. We could do a war against Oman still. Oh yeah, Oman has basically no troops. They're not... they are rival against me, but not too much. We do need to get Oman anyway, so we will put in the conquer state Oman. It's not going to be that much infamy either. Then we'll activate the army down here on the offensive. Of course, the war isn't going to start anytime soon. I do hope that they don't get anyone else in there. Oh, general staff unlocked. Is there anyone? No one's leaning, at least. Right. In production, what is the thing that we're working on now? Oh, railways. That could be quite useful. Of course, we don't have any steel yet. We'd have to get some coal from somewhere to get our own steel. Or just start buying engine from somewhere. That's also a possibility. But then we could get some railways, especially in Gondor. That would be really handy. That's the level 2, okay. For a moment I thought that that was the level 3s already down there. Of course, in society, egalitarianism for the proportional taxation, universal suffrage, and... social security. Let's say a minimum expected standard of living from literacy, I suppose. Speaking of literacy, we got almost 32% now. That's not too bad. Ooh, actually, modern sewerage would increase the infrastructure per 100,000 pops. I'm going to go for that one. It's going to take a while before it's done. But it's going to be very useful. We've got the armies in there. They might not even fight. I do actually wonder, since they've got that, if I was to add in another war goal for Crucial Coast and add that to the primary war goal, will that be... I mean, then at least we'll get all of this and they would have a border over there, I suppose. But I doubt there'll be too much of a problem. Mining accident. Ah, and Hedjaz. I'm going to increase the industrialists' political strength a little bit there. They are very loyal, to be fair. But, you know, I would just want them to be able to maybe get some more votes in the elections. But hopefully we can get the professional army done soon. That would be actually making life a lot easier with these wars. Especially once we start fighting against Ethiopia. Once we get the bonus, or rather, get rid of the penalty from the peasant levies, which right now is 10% morale loss. Admittedly, the military goods cost is reduced, so that's good. But at the same time... taking less losses in combats would be quite nice. And there we go. Professional army has been passed. We could go for... well, actually, no. Oh, actually, we do have a decent bit of bureaucracy. Although we could use that for trading. Or... did we start coring this one yet? Or incorporating that one? No, not yet. That's 8 months away. 270. Did we have any... other areas over here that we've yet to incorporate? No, I think if we incorporated all of this area. Oman is another place that we could probably... actually, what do they have in terms of buildings there? They do have some government administration. They don't have a lot of pops there, admittedly. They got a shipyard. They do not have any naval bases either. We got a little bit pops here, so if we wanted to get some naval bases, we could probably do that. That require a bit of man of wars, but we are producing that ourselves. So it's not the end of the world. We've still got a ton of extra infrastructure in here. Is this using the... yeah, that is using the ports. Double check Somaliland. It should be, yeah, it's using the proper ports as well. This might be one of the few places that isn't. I suppose we'll just put in the cargo port there as well. It's going to cost us a little bit extra, but the credit is now down to 1.75 million. So it's gone down at least a little bit. Of course, we can't really afford lowering the taxes yet. Which is a problem, I suppose, partially because the armies are still active, or one of the armies is still active. But I'm hoping that we can start reducing the radicals a little bit. We got some loyalists, but nothing too massive. They've only got 2 battalions. They've got pretty decent defense though, but we'll have the overwhelming numbers in these combats most likely. So I don't think we are going to lose these. Also, you know, we deal a decent bit of damage, although we also take quite a bit of damage overall, but... we'll be done with this war soon enough. And then Oman is going to be only in Persia. wow, yeah, Great Britain is clearing out a lot of that. Zanzibar, do you have, you do have a few flotillas. Nothing massive, mind you, but eventually... Oh. Apparently Russia and USA have been fighting. Where exactly, though? No, over there. Or maybe it was, Is Russia still at war? No. Oh, Russia's been humiliated by USA, okay. I mean, to be fair, USA does have Papal States as a puppet, and apparently Tripolitania is a French puppet. Or is that a tributary or something? No, a dominion, okay. In the meanwhile, Oman is slowly but surely falling. I mean, we've had 2 combats already, and the third one's probably going to be a lot faster already. Yeah, that was pretty quick. But although we are going at speed 5, so battles are going to be usually fairly quick anyway, but since they've got less than 200 men with 2 battalions, it's not really all that great for them, admittedly. But we are already conquering their capital and all that. Or capital states, so we don't need to worry about it too much, and we'll slowly be conquering all of this. The battles are a formality at this point of the war. Ah, right, let's put in both of these. So they're not going to be accepting peace still yet, but at the same time they're losing 7 points of war support per week. So in a few weeks we'll be done with that. We're still paying £10,000 per week for interest rates. Oh, there we go, so we conquer all of that. Would they be willing to take the peace deal? No, not yet. If we were going all of them Oman, then maybe they would. Oh, there we go. Now they will. There we go. So if we have a look at the nation forming, now we've got 5 out of 16. Still got a lot of ways to go. But at least we've taken a decent chunk of the area already that we need. And of course, there is going to be a decent bit of fighting against Egypt at some point. And then we will also need to conquer at least like 2 or 3 states from Ottoman Empire as well. Depends, well, depends how much they'll conquer from Egypt, I suppose. They still have a claim on Lebanon. So that's at least one of the things that they'll probably lose. We could incorporate Oman now. How much would it cost to... It's 280 for that. Oh, do we have... Yeah, we can put in the papers over here so we can get some extra bureaucracy. We've got 200 at least. The shipyard is producing pretty much everything. Urban center, we could probably go for the market squares. Get a bit more services out at least. And that's about... I suppose this one needs to be... Oh wait, no, not skirmish infantry yet. That is actually fine as is. Because we don't have the munitions production yet, so going for the skirmish infantry, it's not really all that great. Although we do have the prerequisite for that in a way, with the sulfur mines at least. Right, at least Oman is no longer a rival for us. But that's fine, actually. We've got 37 battalions now. Oh, yeah, we've got probably a little bit extra battalions over here in Arabia as well with that one. Although, it only has a fraction of the employment needed. And the money is still a little bit tight. We seem to be gaining a little bit radicals. Right, intervention is... Oh, doesn't have a lot of support. If we were to start supporting that, the landowners would hate that. So we'd lose a little bit of bonus from there, but industrialists would absolutely love that. And that would allow us to have a little bit more of the construction for the private industry, which, you know, it's not necessarily the worst, but we need to get rid of the traditional anyway, so we'll put that in. See if we can't pass it. I'm not entirely sure if we will pass, but might as well give it a try, right? Speaking of private industry, so they're building a cotton plantation right now in Gondar. We're also building up another logging camp soon enough. We'll get the shipyard in need first, the logging camp, then apparently tobacco plantation as well in Gondar, and then the chemical plant. So with the... Actually, how bad is the wood situation? It's still pretty bad. Minus 760. 800... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's getting worse. Service is minus 600 as well, so... Although the market price isn't too bad for that. Let's double check the market prices in here. So lead is fairly expensive. I suppose that's one of the reasons why we had the second one in here. But I suppose... Well, nitrocrystalline would allow us to get a little bit more lead. But at the same time, we don't have explosives yet. If you want peace, armed forces suggesting more hardline foreign policy towards Great Britain due to poor relations. Right, so either it's minus 50... Oh no, minus 30 relations. Interest approval rating for armed forces for 5 years. Or minus 10% authority for 5 years and minus 3 approval rating. Armed forces are fairly loyal. The question is, of course, do I want to... You know, we're going to do that, but we might want to start improving relations with Britain. Darfur is another place that we... Well, oh wow, there's a lot of factories in there. Probably not enough of it, or even nearly enough population to run it all, but... Well, you gotta give them credit for trying, at least, I suppose. Speaking of which, how much is the British GDP? It's 155 million. The number 2 worldwide, I suppose. Austria, no. France? Is it America that is the number 1? Actually, no. Well, I suppose we can just check it through here. Well, I suppose that makes sense. Then it's Britain, Raj, France, Russia, USA, Austria, Ottomans, Japan, and Prussia. Backroom dealings exposed. Suppose we'll take the... Oh, who's this one? Leader, okay. We'll probably allow that go down. So we're not going to pass this one, I guess. Is there any other laws that we could try passing? We've got some... Oh, actually, is there institutions that we could increase? Education is something that we could increase. Put that in there, and it's the... police force. We could try to go in for the dedicated police force. I don't know if that would pass, but that would start reducing the landowners' political strength even further. Or we could go for the National Guard. I don't think that would pass either. So yeah, in terms of laws, we're still a little bit stuck. I mean, the colonialism stuff... especially for the colonial exploitation. Subsistence output in unincorporated states. Starting wages in unincorporated states. Throughput in unincorporated states. So we could potentially go for that one. Just the level 1. I don't think I'll be doing any colonies per se, because I won't have access to anything. Other than maybe... Well, probably not much over here either. Micronesia maybe would... That's not interest that we have announced yet. But we can get a little bit more out of Ethiopia for the time being, at least. We can then later on remove that, I suppose. Right, so GDP is almost 15 million for us. That's pretty decent. We've got 8 million pops as well, so that's also quite nice. I suppose another thing that I should... Oh, we've got 11 battalions already from here. Is all of that is... Yeah, that is mobile artillery and light infantry. Good. Artillery and arms prices are a little bit on the high side of things. Ah, there we go. So Somaliland is incorporated, so that should increase... Well, it has probably increased our income at some point, but the... Well, it's mostly, I suppose, just down to the fact that it's a bit better market access there, although I suppose Gondor is now the problematic one. With our... I suppose we've got such a massive amount of bureaucracy that we could probably start importing some engines, I wonder. Of course, they're not necessarily going to be all that good pricing. Actually, another one could be coal. Start importing some coal into the market. France probably has a decent bit. Of course, right now, since there's not a lot of use for it, it's not necessarily going to be all that much. But if we put in that, we can then start increasing the lead mining, for example. The coal price is going to be going very high, and we'll be using extra tools. At the same time, the lead price is going to start dropping. I'm sure that the coal trade route is then going to be making a lot more money after it starts... Oh yeah, because the demand is very high, so we'll get a little bit of revenue. It's nothing massive, but the amount of units that we are importing is now going up a lot. Which is definitely what we wanted. The colonial exploitation. The throughput in Gondor is going to be increased drastically. It's not necessarily going to be that much more money for us yet, but it will be over time. Although, admittedly, the radical numbers aren't really going down right now. We've got almost 2 million. Of course, it's mostly the areas that we've been conquering that have a lot of radicals. The sort of areas that we conquer early are already fairly loyal, although the areas with a lot of Bedouins, at least. Bedouin culture has become obsessed with porcelain. Oh. Alright then. Doesn't look like there's any more laws that we could pass there. And the colonialization is not something that I necessarily need to do. I can't access any colonies there, for example. And my political interest... Let's actually have a look at that. I've only got... Oh, we got 1 in 9. I see. Oh, right. That's why we... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we don't even have interest in Sanja yet. Alright then, but we only have 1 interest that we can spare right now. Oman is a little bit low access as well. Do we have the port using the correct stuff there? No, we don't. Okay, let's start using some clippers there too. make life a little bit easier. So at least the market access over here is going to be alright. And the turmoil is hopefully dropping, or at least the amount of radicals in there is going to start dropping because they've got full access to the market again. Against the odds. Ah, right. Radicals from discrimination. Or I think we're going to take the -2 approval rating of both British bourgeoisie and Sunni ulema. Ulema, we're going to lose that one. Oh, the birth rate. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. But I suppose we've got a pretty decent population already, so I'm not too worried about that one. So what are they? Oh, lead mine in Yemen. Okay, that sounds actually a really nice idea. Still slowly reducing the interest. I mean, still got 1.69 million credit. So we do need to pay off quite a bit of that before we can make a proper money again. Is there any better laws in here or taxes in here? So tea is 780. Opium is... okay, it's over 1,000, so not necessarily. I suppose a lot of the radicals are coming in now partially to the fact that we've got... oh, actually, I suppose we could do more trading. Maybe we should increase the coal that we import. Hanover would be able to import at least a little bit. We've still got plenty of convoys, of course. But I'm just thinking maybe British market would be nice because they no doubt have a lot of coal in there. So even though it's not quite as good of a price right now, we can bring in a lot more coal. And then I suppose another thing that we could do... oh, education university increased. Good. So the literature rate is going to start going up. So now that we've got coal, I suppose we could also import some iron, assuming that it's not quite as bad, actually, the iron price now. It's actually a lot more manageable. So if we were to get... well, we haven't researched the railway yet, have we? I'm going to speed up the railway research then. If we can get the railways research, we could buy some engines, we could get a couple railways in Gondar to improve the infrastructure there, as well as maybe one at least in Somaliland. So we can get the market access higher, and then they'll be able to get the resources that need from other states, and that's, you know, things will be a lot better, standard of living will go higher. Oh, we're number 14 worldwide now in GDP. GDP per capita is not all that high, admittedly, but you know, we're not all that industrialized a nation yet. But what we are is out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.